Kidnapping Freddie Heineken is a British-Dutch crime drama film released in the year 2015. The plot of the film is based on a true kidnapping story and centers on a group of 5 Dutch friends who face difficulties when they decide to kidnap the Heineken owner and tycoon, Alfred Heineken, also known as Freddie Heineken, to achieve a very high ransom. So, let's get started. Turn on the subtitles, and spoilers ahead. The movie starts in 1982 in the city of Amsterdam. A group of 5 Dutch friends, William Holledier, Cor van Hout, Jean Bolliard, Martin Erkamps, and Frans Mier, meet on the street. One of them has even brought his baby daughter with him. The other friends decide to leave him outside and enter the bank to ask for a loan. According to them, they owned a construction company that employed 100 workers, but somehow that didn't work out for them and they went bankrupt. They request the bank manager to lend them the loan as they own a building in their name but the residents don't pay them the rent. Upon knowing the address of the building, the bank manager suspects them as shady people and rejects their request for the loan. All of them leave the building in a state of sorrow as they are in dire need of money. In their fury, they decide to enter their building, which is occupied by lowlifes who refuse to pay them the rent. Before entering the building, they loudly threaten everyone to leave the building along with their belongings or else everyone will be thrown out. Upon noticing the arrogant attitude of the residents, they enter the building and start beating everyone there. A long 10 minutes fighting sequence continues as the 5 of them engage in a beat-out. All of a sudden, cops arrive at the fight scene as someone had tipped the police. All 5 friends are arrested for charges of trespassing a residential building and disturbing the residents. Soon, Cor van Hout is bailed through a source. He arrives home only to find that his wife, Sanja, is pregnant with his second child. He jumps out of excitement and celebrates with his wife. At night in a boat, he meets his friends, who were also released by the police, and discusses with them how they should earn the money. Cor promises his friends that he will definitely do something big to get them out of this tough situation. He proposes his friends to do a business that requires them to risk their lives but earn 15 million euros in return. Everyone starts laughing, thinking that Cor has lost his mind, as there is no way they can do a business worth 15 million euros, that too in a short period of time. But Cor has a plan that will give them 15 million euros if everything goes their way. Cor decides to perform a high-profile abduction. He plans to abduct the Heineken owner and tycoon, Freddie Heineken, who's a billionaire, and demand a high ransom from them that can solve all their problems. All the friends agree, and they celebrate by popping firecrackers. They start to prepare to carry out the kidnapping. One of them brings face masks to conceal their identities, and they also arrange guns in a boat. As per their plan, they will hold Heineken in an abandoned warehouse following his abduction. Willem decides that they need to show themselves as high-profile criminals and make a top-notch kidnapping plan, and if they fail to do so, they will be easily caught. So they decide to rob the bank first to get enough money to perform the kidnapping. In the morning, they head out in a van with their masks on to perform the heist at the bank, stealing a steel suitcase in the process. The police start chasing them after the robbery, and a shootout starts as they get on their boat to escape. However, they manage to get away from the police. Later, they open the steel suitcase to find it swamped with cash. They are elated to see a huge amount of money and celebrate their success. Cor spends the night at his home. While sleeping next to his wife, she tells him that a robbery took place at the bank today and the robbers had guns and masks. Cor acts as if he does not know anything about it and lies to her that he was with his friend during the time of the robbery. She tells him that the weird thing about the robbery was that nobody was harmed. The next day, all the boys start shopping for their mission. After buying all the necessary items required for the abduction, they meet at the warehouse. They arrange a truck for the mission and also prepare a cell to keep Freddie Heineken. They write a ransom letter for the Heineken family to give them the required ransom, or else they'll never see Freddie and his driver again. Just as they're about to execute the plan, Martin hesitates to carry on with the plan, but Cor assures him that nothing will go wrong. So, they head out late at night to start their mission. Outside Heineken's house, they grab Heineken and his driver, Ab Dodurer, and throw them inside the truck. While abducting them, a man sitting in a yellow taxi watches them from the corner and starts chasing them. They notice the taxi chasing them, so they stop in the middle of a deserted road and scare off the taxi by pointing guns at it. Finally, they reach the location of the cell and pull Heineken and his driver out of the truck, escorting them into the cell. They strip off their clothes and wrap them in a piece of cloth. Core confirms from everyone whether everyone has left their fingerprints on the letter that they wrote to send to Heineken's family. Upon knowing that one of them has left his fingerprints on the paper, Core runs into an office nearby and makes a copy of the letter through a copying machine. Meanwhile, Willem burns down the clothes to get rid of any traces. Later, they deliver the letter to the police station's mailbox. Late at night, they all celebrate their victory at a bar. After that, Core goes inside the cell where he assures Abdur that he won't be harmed and that they only want the money. Heineken asks Core to facilitate him with the basic everyday essentials such as a proper washroom, a shaving kit, reading glasses, a comfortable chair, and a telephone. Core ignores his demands and leaves the cell quietly. Meanwhile, the news of Heineken's abduction is published in the newspaper and all 5 of them enjoy reading it. They sit in a bar and listen to the news of Heineken's abduction on the television. All of a sudden, Core realizes that he has left the ransom letter inside the copying machine, so they rush to the office where they copied the letter, and thankfully, they find the letter where they left it. Back at the warehouse, Martin brings food to Heineken, who yet again gives him a long list of demands to fulfill, such as bringing books for him and changing the music. Meanwhile, Willem and Core spend some time with their family. All of them keep waiting for an update from Heineken's family, but to no avail. They keep on fulfilling all of Heineken's demands, including the type of food he wants and the specific kind of music that he listens to. 2 weeks pass and there's still no update from Heineken's family. All of them feel restless and tired. Jan suggests aborting the plan and releasing Heineken because he wants to live his life peacefully. Core motivates Jan to keep on going with the plan or else they will lose 15 million euros for which they've worked so hard. The next day, 2 of them lie to Heineken that his family has refused to pay the ransom amount, so they're going to kill him. Heineken is surprised to hear this and asks them for pen and paper to write a note himself for his family. After taking the note, Core and Willem open the cell gates of Ab and Heineken, allowing them to talk. Core convinces his friends to just wait for 1 more week. William speaks the truth by telling his group members that the police think that they are not criminals but a bunch of timid people who can't hold their word. They clearly wrote on the letter that if they don't receive the ransom, Heineken will be dead. But after 2 weeks, Heineken is still alive and well, so the police believe that they aren't dealing with serious criminals. Franz starts to argue with Core, so Core hands him a knife and asks him to go and kill Heineken. In all of the frustration and chaos, Willem steps forward saying that he will kill Heineken himself. As Willem enters the cell to kill Heineken, he's stopped by Core. Core decides that everyone should take a break and meet after some time to cool off their heads. Core feels bad for the group that is facing difficulties due to their lack of experience in crime. Heineken asks him what his plan is after he receives the ransom. Core tells him that after receiving the 15 million euros, he'll take Heineken and Ab in a car and release them somewhere. Heineken tries to manipulate Core, saying that he can give him whatever he wants if he sides with him. He tells Core that there are only 2 kinds of people in the world. One who has a lot of money and one who has a lot of friends. No one can have both. Core ignores Heineken's offer but keeps thinking about it all night. All of a sudden, he realizes to read the newspaper only to find out an update from Heineken's family. He immediately rushes to the warehouse and captures a picture of Heineken with the newspaper as proof of his life. Next, they ask Ab to record audio in which he reads all the instructions that Heineken's family needs to follow to deliver the ransom. The audio is then sent over to Heineken's family, who must follow the instructions. All the group members set out to receive the ransom and Heineken's family follow all their instructions. They receive the bags of money and Core and Willem keep them in a safe place in the woods. Both of them return to the rest of the group, who jump out of excitement at their victory. While celebrating in their car, Willem notices a car with cops following them, so he starts speeding to get rid of them, creating havoc on the street. After a while, they manage to lose the cop car that was following them. Everyone freaks out that they'll soon be caught, and Franz suggests getting the money from the safe place. Core tells him that if all 5 of them go and get the money, they will most probably get caught. He suggests that he and Willem should go and get the money. Franz suspects that the 2 of them will flee with all the money alone. However, Core and Willem successfully bring the money to the place that they decided, and all 5 of them meet there. Martin is given his share of the money, after which he leaves. Core gives the rest of the members their share, but Franz flips out when he finds that Core and Willem left 1 bag of money at the site, as they weren't able to carry it. Core tells Franz and Jan that they don't have time to argue, and they will have to leave for Paris immediately to stay away from the police, and that they plan to remain hidden there. Jan refuses to go to Paris as he can't live far away from his family and children, but he's also worried about Heineken, who will die if they don't release him. But no one listens to him, so he throws his bag of money there and leaves furiously. On the other hand, Franz agrees to go with them to Paris. On Jan's way to his home, he's chased by the police who finally catch him. Jan leads the police to the warehouse where Heineken and Ab are kept. The police finally arrive in the cell to rescue Heineken and Ab. Cor, Willem, and Franz listen to the news of Heineken's release through a radio and are puzzled by how the police found out about it. On their way to Paris, Willem and Franz get into a lame fight. In his fury, Franz decides to get out of the car and be on his own. The next morning, Martin is arrested by the police when he is out on his bicycle. Cor and Willem hear the news of their friend's arrest on TV. While fleeing away with Willem, Cor feels he must take care of his pregnant wife, Sanja, so he decides to call her. Willem explains to him that it's a dangerous action that could easily reveal their location to the police. In Paris, Cor is sad to read the newspaper that Franz surrendered himself to the police. Willem and Cor watch Heineken's interview on TV where he seems pretty sure that he will catch the two of them soon. After watching the interview, Cor experiences strong emotions to talk to his wife. Willem repeatedly asks him not to call her, and the two get into an argument. Willem tries to knock some sense into Cor's head, and he seemingly understands him. The whole night, Cor is unable to sleep, thinking about his pregnant wife and son. He watches Willem enjoying his life with his girlfriend, which brings back flashbacks of his beautiful memories with Sanja. He ultimately gives in to his feelings and calls Sanja, who tells her that she's being chased by the police everywhere she goes. She asks Cor what his crime is and begs him to come and take her. Cor promises Sanja that soon their family will be together and they will live happily. Willem is pissed to see Cor talking on the phone despite his constant disapproval. Cor suggests Willem to change their hideout as he suspects the police will soon get to them. While leaving their hideout, Cor and Willem feel a strange kind of silence on the street, and just then they're arrested by the French police. Turns out, an anonymous tip first led police to suspect Cor and his friend. The police never revealed who sent the tip or what it said. The film ends with an epilogue stating that after Freddie Heineken's kidnapping, he created one of the world's foremost private security firms and died in the year 2003. Jan served 12 years and Martin served 8 years in jail. Franz escaped from a criminal psychiatric hospital and fled to Paraguay. Cor and Willem served 11 years in jail. In 2003, Cor was killed by an assassin, and his killer was never identified. It was the largest ever paid ransom for an individual at the time. A significant portion of the money was never recovered, and after this crime, the kidnappers were never seen together again as a group. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing in more fun content for you guys. You watch out for that.